As some of you know, I'm starting to study at a game design / art school this October, and now that I've finished all of my major exams, I was finally able to get the official graduation papers. Now I'm going all in on organizing for my upcoming 3.5 years of art school. And besides moving away from my parents, getting a part-time job, and of course continuing to improve my drawing skills, this also included getting a high-end PC that was actually going to allow me to program all kinds of games as fluent as possible without having to abuse the technology of the school that I'm gonna go to. Because in a conversation with one of the school's professors, I was told that during the weekend I needed to be able to work on all kinds of upcoming projects all by myself, since the school is closed on Saturdays and Sundays. So I grabbed my shit together and started doing my research, of which I today want to present you my results and hopefully help those of you who are also interested in game design and who are interested in finding the right PC for that with this video. So that, just like me, you can get one step closer to your game artist dreams. So with no further ado, here is what I think your PC needs upon starting off in game design. First and foremost, you need to know that the type of PC you should aim for when buying is a gaming PC. Now, what actually separates a gaming PC from a generic one? Basically, what you need to know is that a gaming PC is always more classified to run games because it has better or just like way more powerful hardware than that of a generic one. Arguably the most important piece of hardware there is the CPU, which can basically be interpreted as the brain of the computer, effectively allowing it to allocate and process all kinds of tasks and functions of your PC. If the CPU of your PC isn't strong enough to handle certain programs, it can cause long loading times all the way to crashing your entire PC. The same thing applies for the RAM of your PC, which is the memory that allows your PC to access information about currently running programs. In the gaming industry, a big RAM is an absolute must-have, because being able to use multiple big programs at the same time is crucial. And if your RAM is too low, your CPU won't be able to access information about the running programs fast enough, which then slows down all the open programs, making it impossible to use them. My advice here is a CPU that is at least an Intel Core i7 or an AMD Ryzen 7, with at least 6 cores. And in addition, the RAM, in my opinion, should at least feature 32 gigabytes. This is necessary because your PC needs to be able to run not only Unity, but also Unreal Engine. And while Unity would probably work on a lower CPU and only 16 gigabytes of RAM, Unreal Engine definitely requires you to go the extra mile. Moving on to the next important component, we got the graphic card. Those are the things that allow your PC to visualize about anything on your monitor, and those are the things that determine how good your PC's graphics will look overall. And since the graphics for this at least need to be good enough to work on Unreal Engine, you'll need the minimum of an RTX 4070 to really be able to work well with the stuff the program has to offer. Otherwise, your PC simply won't be able to load the images of the game correctly, which lowers not only the possible frames per second, but can again cause crashes or make programs impossible to use. And lastly, the final important thing to look out for is the total system storage, which depending on the type of games you want to develop can go from 1 terabyte all the way to 100 and beyond. Depending on the graphics and complexity of a game, video games, as we know from prime examples like Ark, Survival Evolved, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare, they need a lot of space on your computer, so you can actually save the progression of the game development and actually run the game completely. I'd recommend getting at least a 2 terabyte storage for starters, and in case you later notice that that isn't enough for some reason, you can still add more storage later on. So in summary, these are the most important things you should focus on when buying a PC to develop games on. Now in terms of price, you should be aware that you'll most likely be looking at an investment of $1,000 and beyond, considering that the graphic card by itself is already around 550 to 600 euros, which is about 650 to 700 US dollars. So a total of about 1,500 euros or $1,750 is entirely reasonable, because of course there is all the other stuff that comes with a PC, like for example the thingies that cool down your PC that you need. Then you'll of course have to pay for the CPU, the RAM and the system storage, and so on and so on. So yeah, about 1,500 euros slash $1,750. And that's about it for today's video. I hope I could help you with some decisions, and I'd be incredibly glad if you'd subscribe to the channel, since we are very close to my first 100 subscribers, so definitely consider following me on my journey to becoming a game artist. That's it for me for today. I wish everyone a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.